Well, Coventry City have got through another penalty shootout. This one actually counted, though. But is there a weak underbelly developing in this Coventry side, in which we see lots of goals conceded in the last couple of minutes of games? We're talking about transfer rumours, of course, with Tom, Jay and Scott. We're getting them to choose their December Player of the Month. AI is predicting Coventry's home fixtures, where will we finish in the league? And we're starting off January, this is the worst month of all, by asking this lot to pick out their worst ever Coventry City side, starting with the worst goalkeeper. Welcome back to Sky Blues Walk. Thank you for all your comments over the last couple of weeks. Our first question this week is, are we all falling in love with Super Frank? Scott?
I like him. I can't not like him, to be brutally honest. He is who he is. He's one of the greatest players that probably England have seen in the centre, with Gerrard and Scholes. I think he's going to come good. He's got lots of contacts. A couple have been mentioned, rumour-wise. Some young lad at Chelsea is being rumoured at the moment. Sam Rak-Sakyi, I think his name is. I think his brother plays in another professional side as well. Don't know too much about him, to be brutally honest. I think he's going to do okay if he can use his contacts, see what happens in January. The players seem to be a bit more up for the game, in my opinion. There's a bit more fight, especially when Kitchen plays. I'm liking that bit of bite to the side. And I think we're going in the right direction. I said the other week, I'm not quite seeing a massive difference, but I'm seeing bits and bobs each game, and I think we're going in the right direction, Mark.
Well, what do you think of his post-match interviews, Jay? You falling in love with the sense of the game management that he has?
I wouldn't say I'm falling in love with the guy, but I going to contradict what Scott said a little bit here. Up until Mason Clark got injured, I personally saw quite a bit of a change in our style of play. We were playing a lot more play, loading the box, trying to high press, etc. Since Mason Clark's injuries hit quite hard, so then we've changed formation and become a bit more solid. So I think he's basically going through the motions to get the results that he can at the moment. Hopefully, all very quiet, but hopefully we get a couple of signings. Normally, our January is very difficult. You need 1-2 signings, but I think we need probably 4 signings. But it's very, very quiet. We're third week, and nothing. Even Frank Lampard said nothing's going to happen. So this week, so we'll see. But I'm very positive. I think he's going to come good.
Okay, Tom, you're there in the stands every week chanting "Super Frank," aren't you?
Yeah, I am. To be honest, I can't help but join in. I love the bloke, I do. But he's very likeable. He talks very well, which has been mentioned so many different times. And I think the results will show themselves eventually. We're still at a bit of a rough patch at the moment, but we are seeing better performances now, better things throughout games that I'm noticing. But they will all start to get there eventually. I wouldn't mind an FA Cup run again, to be honest. I mean, winning that penalty shootout was very nice. Dobbin, fair play, seems very passionate, so that was nice to see. But I think the corner will be turned a bit later than we were hoping. And January is massive. But as Jay said, this week is going to be a very, very boring week, apparently, for us. But I'd love at least 3 or 4 in. But at this rate, I can't see it happening except for the young Chelsea lad. It's a bit disappointing, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, is Doug? Doug got the, I don't know, the builders in, Scott, or something. Is he? Got no checkbook out.
I really don't know. He's been against loan players for a while, but I don't think we often have an awful lot of choice, really. And if you're going to buy in January, it's normally going to cost you a lot more than you normally want to pay. He doesn't seem as though he's the kind of person to throw money away to me, and he's quite shrewd with the business that he's done so far. So, personally, I can only see loan players coming in January. I'm not entirely sure we're going to make any permanent signings at all in this window.
Right. Let's talk about this soft underbelly that you have, though, Jay, if that's okay. Gary says we're still that weak underbelly to concede in added time, but a penalty win will do. I suppose there's a couple of other tweets saying, "Oh, another soft defensive concentration. We can't hold out in games." Is this becoming a bit of a concern for you as a Coventry fan? There's a bit of a theme happening that we just can't close out for 90 minutes. Is it a fitness thing?
Yes and no. Fitness, I do feel like we're a bit leggy towards the end of games. pretty much all season as well. We do tend to look quite tired. Soft underbelly, a little bit, yes, but also the 2 goals gave away from Norwich. The first one was obviously just a world-class finish. Can't really do much about that. Maybe close them down a little bit quicker. But again, the defensively were bad. The second one, I think there were a few errors in there. And then also with this Sheffield Wednesday one, we had a player off the field, a bit of treatment as well. I want to say it's soft underbelly because we defended very well, I thought, in Sheffield. We let them have 1 shot on target, I think. So we didn't really give too much away to them. But again, the thing that annoyed me is the fact that when Bannon came on, I think he's about 50 years old, completely controlling. Surely there's no one sort of pushing up on him to try and close him down, and he was dictating everything. For the last 20 minutes, we sort of let them play the game that they wanted to, and that's the thing that sort of annoyed me a little bit with the game management that Scott's mentioned already, where we sort of allow these teams to come on us and put the pressure on us a little bit, which I think is a bit sort of counterproductive. So that's a concern I would have. Again, we had Liam Kelly. I wish for Liam Kelly. Liam Kitchen come back into the team. He's got some really good fight in him. That's great. Put one on the Sheffield player straight away in the first couple of minutes, and then surprisingly, I've had to sort of apologise on Twitter about this. James come in. I've called him a League One player all season. He's come in and been sort of breath of fresh air. And he's in his 30s or something. Hasn't played much games. But he's doing what he does. He's giving you energy. He's giving you legs. He's pressing, and I think that sort of set the tone a little bit for the rest of the boys. The younger guys are sort of following a little bit as well. So I personally am not concerned about having a soft underbelly. I just think it's again 2 weeks in a row where we've unfortunately conceded late goals. But yeah, I think defensively we're looking a lot solid, which is one of the plus points for Frank in my eyes.
Okay, Tom, you were at Carrow Road though, and you were there in the 90th minute, thinking you were going to win it. So when it happens again in the 93rd minute, a week later, do you not stand there and thinking we're not learning any lessons from what happened before?
Yeah, I think what happened was obviously Binks was off taking treatment, so we were down to 10, but we can't just use that excuse because it has happened 2 games in a row now. It is frustrating because we did, as Jay said, we defended really, really well against Sheffield. I thought we defended well against Norwich as well. But against Sheffield Wednesday, we were really solid defensively, and it's just little slip-ups that can seem to happen. We seem to, 90th minute at a time, we just seem to just lose concentration and then slip up. Like that's what's happened the past 2 games. I really hope we don't make a thing of it, because if we could just hold on, it would be nice. Although in the Sheffield Wednesday game, I would like to say Bobby Thomas's goal should have counted. I didn't see anything wrong with that. So we should have been 2-0 up anyway. So I'm going to mention that. But except for that, I thought it was a solid defensive performance. But it's just these little slip-ups that we need to put right. And once we put them right, hopefully we can get a lot more clean sheets.
Okay. Yeah, our Sheffield Wednesday fans will be glad not to be seeing you until March. Put it that way.
Really hate us.
Yeah, they really do. Yeah,
they really hate us.
A lot of teams, unfortunately.
Yeah, although the association stop trying to create rivalries. Yeah, that's it. Can you help us get to 250 subscribers this week? We're really, really hoping we can. We're about 30 away. It would massively help us if you can get there. We love making this content for you. There's loads of other great commentary content out there, but we like to think ours is just 20 minutes of plain straightforward chat. And with that, then let's have a look at some transfer rumours, shall we? Let's throw this one at you, Scott. Latte could be on his way out, apparently. Another experienced one gone. Let's see what we can bring in. I'm not sure whether you've heard this one, but would you be gutted? And what's the latest on this potential exit?
Well, I've heard he's going to Burnley. That they're interested in him. From my own opinion, I'm not a fan, to be honest, for Latte. Having said that, the last couple of 2 or 3 games he's actually played quite well. A bit like Jay was saying about Kitchen. I've not been a fan at times. Bit too slow for me. But to be fair to him, he's played well in the last 2 or 3 games. But he's got some experience. He is a bit of a leader. You can hear him on the pitch. But I was surprised that Burnley were after him, which makes me think about my own opinion of him. If I don't think he's that good, he's going to Burnley, who've just been relegated from the Premier League. But Yeah, it's the experience you'd lose more than the ability, in my opinion.
All right. Tom, any more transfer rumours that you're hearing?
Apparently, Rob Holding might be going to the MLS now, which is a shame, really. But the only other one is that I think Scott said it earlier, that Samuel, I can't really say his last name. I can only apologise.
Rak-Sakyi.
Yeah.
Sam
Rak-Sakyi.
Rak-Sakyi.
Yeah. Youngster, 19. To be honest, I think it's good. I don't. Is it what we're looking for? He's not that experienced sort of leader we need in the middle of the park. But he's a youngster. Chelsea fans rave about him, and I don't really know much about the lad, but he's got potential. So I'd say bring him in, see what happens. I'm quite excited, but I still want a proper leader in January, someone like Fads, So we could just get Fads back, to be honest. He's leaving.
Okay, all right. Let us know your latest transfer rumours in the comments below, and we'll feature some of those next week. Make it up if you can't hear. And this is a very slow news week for Coventry City.
Jay normally does.
Lampard is going to be playing the next game.
We'll bring him on, crikey.
We've been signing Galley for the last 3 years.
It's Bristol City next, then, isn't it? Let's have a look at the last time you played these guys. It was a 1-1 draw. I think you played them in the League Cup, haven't you, as well? I should have said. Casey Palmer, of course, got the goal for you back in August. We know that's not going to happen again this Saturday. But have a look at that Coventry side there, Jay. How different does 5 months make to this Coventry side? What's the fundamental differences from back in August to now?
Centre backs really. I think. We've changed formation for a start. We're playing 3 at the back currently. I think Frank Lampard would like to play this formation, but playing 3 at the back just because of the injuries he's got. If we were playing 4 at the back, I think we'd probably play Thomas and Kitchen at the moment. Hadji Wright, obviously a massive miss for us. Currently, I cannot wait for that man to be back, and obviously from Mason Clark as well. Sakamoto hasn't had the best of seasons for me personally. So obviously at the beginning of the season when he came back from his injury, everyone's quite excited for him to come back. But I think we're going to play 3 at the back. I think maybe Bristol do play now and then. So there'll be a change, sure, I think, just again because of the injury status of quite a few of our key players. We'll probably play 3 and 2 up top, sort of press them high. In the case, yeah.
Good. All right. Do not give any free kicks away around the box, because otherwise Scott Twine is on fire at the moment. Do not don't let them. Don't let them bend one in. Some quick ones then to finish off with December Player of the Month, please. If you can find one, dig deep here, Scott. Who would you give it to?
I think there's only one, in my opinion, Mason Clark for me in December. Scoring goals and assists as well. So it was quite an easy one for December.
Okay, Tom?
We miss him.
Sorry, Tom.
Sorry, me. Sorry. No, sorry. Yeah, Mason Clark, 3 goals, 3 assists. If I'm not mistaken. He scored against Millwall. He scored against Plymouth. He scored against someone else. I can't remember. Sorry. Oh, that was it. Thank you. And yeah, definitely Mason Clark. He got Player of the Month as well. So fair play to him. Some players.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jay, make this quick and easy. If you're going for it's 3 for 3.
Mason Clark. Simple. Done. Next question.
AI has predicted all the home games for Coventry City to come, and let's just have a quick look at them, shall we? Before we look at the points total, I look at these, and of all the teams in the kind of that mix at the bottom, you've got a really tough run in terms of the teams at the top. You've still got Leeds to come at home, Watford to come at home, Sunderland to come at home, and Burnley to come at home as well, which is some tough, and West Brom and Middlesbrough. So of the top, the top 6 sides, you've got. There's only Sheffield United, which you've already played. So, Scott, do you look at this and get a little bit worried about? This is obviously where you want to pick up most of your points, but you've got a tough run here.
It's the kind of thing I look at myself anyway. And spookily enough, out the last 11 games, I came out with 15 points myself as well. So,
okay, right.
I'm not sure if I should be worried or not, but it's. I think I keep sitting there thinking something's going to depend on. Well, it's going to depend on January, but I think it's going to be very quiet. So, if we can get Mason Clark and Hadji back whenever they can come back in the next, I don't know, couple of games, 2 or 3 games, depending on where they are, we might have a difference. But Bristol City's got nailed on draw to me. I think there might be Watford lose against Leeds. I'd like to think we can beat QPR, but they played very well against us last season. Preston we never do very well against. I'd like to think we can beat Stoke, and then we're into some of the big teams, and aren't we? Sunderland, Burnley. Who knows? But if we can get a run going, you never know. But it's a tough run, and you're right, yeah.
And that Stoke game has got some quite significance on it, Jay, hasn't it? When it comes up in March.
Just a lot of mess. It's going to be weird seeing him in the dugout, really. So it'll be interesting what reception. I'm sure he'll get a good reception, but it'll be interesting when and where he gets that reception.
Is it weird seeing him in a different jacket, and with a different, club scarf?
I have shut down every Twitter thing I could possibly shut down. I do not like seeing that man anywhere on my Twitter feed. It upsets me still to this day.
Weird.
So I've honestly anything to do with Stoke down.
Okay. All right. Finally, this week, then, we are starting our crawl of the worst ever Coventry City 11 in the Championship era. And we're starting, of course, with goalkeepers. So we're asking, Coventry have had quite a good run on goalkeepers, but there must be one that you all can remember that sticks to the back of your mind. Tom, you're probably just as old as the Championship is, so we can't. It's unfair to come to you, but any that stick in your young mind?
Well, I'd say you asked me a few weeks ago. I said Brad Collins against Pompey was shocking. Really tough actually, because we had Morosi, if I can remember. He was pretty solid, yeah. Ben Wilson, I like Ben Wilson. Moore, I mean, he was all right the first season, then he dropped off. I'm going to go Collins, to be honest, at the moment, but it's really tough for my age. So,
yeah, okay. Let's go to someone a little bit older then, shall we, Scott?
Just a little, just a year, 6 months difference. I can't think of too many different from what what's his name? There it is, Tom. My memory's gone already. What Tom said, but I think from what I've seen recently in my memory, then Collins has had some dodgy games, but then he's had some cracking games.
Wembley.
I was trying to think back 10, 15 years, and I did have to cheat and look something up, but there was a chap's name I've never even heard of, Rafael Nuzzo or somebody. I think he played once for us and he was appalling, but never even heard of him. But I'll
join winger any Rafael.
Okay. All right, Jay, help us out here. We can't put Collins in the worst ever Coventry 11, can we?
I did cheat a little bit because again, Collins has had a bad run, but he was quite decent at some point last year. The one guy I remember giving me every week, giving me heart attacks when the ball came in the box, Lee Burge. Absolutely hate the guy. I don't know what. He was a decent shot stopper, but every time the ball was coming into the box, he was the most least commanding goalkeeper I've ever seen in my life. So I'm going to go Lee Burge.
Okay,
that's my man.
Right. That's a better shout. I'm sure you'll help us out. Let us know in the comments below, as you did last week. Thanks for all your tweets on last week's stuff. Let us know in the comments who the worst goalkeeper is. Right, we shall let you go. Enjoy the Bristol City game. Let's hope there's no 90th minute Scott Twine free kick equaliser. Let's see it out this time. No more soft underbelly. See you next week, and we'll review it all again. Plus, we want two of the worst strikers that Coventry have ever had. Join us for that next week. So you've got 7 days to think about it. No excuses this time.
That was a lot easier.
Great stuff. Cheers. Thank you.
I've already got names in my head.
Have a good week.
Thank you. Have a good one. See you later.
Cheers.